As we have already established, Election Day, November 8th, 2016, was not the best day ever. It was devastating for so many people in so many ways. And a couple of days after the election, my daughter called and she said she wanted to tell me that she and her longtime girlfriend Jackie were getting married. She said, "We're eloping, Mom. We're gonna fly to New York City," that's where they had met, "and we're gonna do it before the administration changes, and we'd really like our family to be there, so will you come?" And I said, "Of course we'll be there." Ansley has told me that being part of a marginalized community means that you live with a low-level anxiety all the time. She and Jackie, they have to consider things that straight couples never even give a second thought to. They have to be aware of when they hold hands in public. Once when Ansley was traveling through the airport, the customs official stopped her and he looked her up and down, and then he looked at her girlfriend and he said, "So what, you two are sisters?" And Ansley knew she had to be really careful, and she said, "No, we're not sisters." And then he snorted and looked at her with disgust. I have to say that this is my baby. This is my girl. I love this girl. And as her mother, I also share that low-grade fear that she has most of the time for her safety. A year and a half before the election, the White House was lit in rainbow colors to celebrate the passage of the Marriage Equality Act. And I naively thought that we had evolved. But this election turned everything back up on its head. And when I told people about the girls' plans, they said, "She's kind of overreacting. He's not going to be able to change the laws. He can't make it so they can't get married." But when I look at all that has happened since then, and the way that he has been able to validate hate and encourage discrimination, I am filled all over again with this new rising fear. So, a couple of days after Christmas last year, my husband and my two boys and I, we got on a plane and we flew to New York to celebrate Ansley and Jackie's wedding. Now, I didn't know exactly what to expect because I've never been to an elopement before. And Ansley is, those of you that know her, a handful of you in this room, know that she can be just a little bit high-strung. And so I didn't know what the day would hold, but the day was cloaked in this blanket of calm. The girls were doing exactly what they wanted to do, and they were doing it in the way that they wanted to do it. That morning, Ansley came to our hotel to get ready, and we took pictures of her in this beautiful vintage cream-colored dress. And then we Ubered to the courthouse, where we were surprised to find a line with hundreds of people waiting to get married. Apparently, the end of the year is a very popular time to get married, and this courthouse only does weddings. So nobody was there to pay a parking ticket or contest a fine, and it was like a great big party. It was this assortment of really wonderful, diverse people. They were all laughing and loving and happy for one another. Now, the slow-moving line, it went into the building and through security, and then it wound around through this long reception area, and then past the clerk of the court. And several of Ansley and Jackie's friends from New York had come to witness, and then Jackie's mother and father were there, and her brother Adam. And so while we were waiting, we had all this time, so we took lots of pictures. We have the best wedding pictures from that day, groupings of friends and family, until finally it was time for us to go into the chapel. We were ushered into this tiny little space where the ceremony, we gathered around the girls, we huddled close, and the ceremony took mere minutes. But man, oh man, was there love in that room. And when it was finished, we spilled outside and we took my favorite picture of the day. It was the two girls standing in front of this old set of doors for the courthouse. They were embracing, and Jackie was kissing Ansley's cheek, and she was looking to the side, and she kicked her foot up so you could see her high-heeled shoe behind her. And all around them on the sidewalk, there were these little bits of brightly colored, rainbow-colored confetti. And then we moved this happy little group down the street a couple of blocks to Pret, which is a New York-style deli where you can buy cellophane-wrapped sandwiches from a cooler. And we rushed into that deli, this group, Jackie and Ansley and all of their friends and family. We were this flurry of celebratory laughter and excitement. And when the owner of the deli came over to find out what it was that we were all there for, we pointed at the girls and we said, "They just got married." And he grinned at us, and then he put out his hand and he congratulated the girls. And then we spent the rest of the day taking pictures in places that the girls loved around the city. The girls, they held hands and they displayed their love with abandon. And when we were so cold we thought our fingers might fall off, we snuck into this little tucked away bar and we warmed ourselves in the back by the fire. And the evening ended with a wedding dinner at a place called the Lighthouse in Williamsburg, where Jackie's brother, Adam, he raised his glass and he toasted his sister and the love that she had found with our daughter. And I felt really honored to be part of this bubble of love, embracing these two beautiful girls and celebrating in the way that everybody should be able to celebrate when something wonderful happens in their life.